Hello and welcome back to my channel. On this video, I'm going to be doing me a full set of tips and I'm going to do my toes as well. So here what I like to do, I like to start off by clipping my nails down all the way down to where it's like really short. Then after I clip all my nails, what I like to do is buff them. I'll use a file or I'll use my drill bit or I'll do sometimes both. You just want to get like a rough edge or just you want your nail to be rough before you apply your tips, because if you don't file your nails, then your tips will pop off much easier. So this is, for them to last a little bit longer. I like to do that step. And then I like to buff out the nail tip as well, which I tried to get it in the camera, but I actually messed up on the camera frame, so I didn't even get to have that in the frame. But a little bit later you'll see that I buffed the nail tip out itself, and I do have it in the frame. So you can tell it's a little bit like ashy towards the ends of those nail tips. It's because I buffed them as well to make them, make the hold a little bit stronger. You see here, I'm buffing it. So yeah, that's a tip that I like to use to make my nails last a little longer, because I have I've tried it without buffing it and they won't last as long and they'll kind of pop off quicker. They won't last about 2 weeks. So yeah, my tip would be to buff the nail and buff the nail tip that you're going to apply to your nails. Just like that. So after I do that, I clip it to the length that I want. The length that I want to start doing my design. And what I do actually is I leave it a little bit longer than what I want the original length to be, because as you buff it and file it down, the nail itself starts to shrink. So I'll leave it a little longer than what I want. And then, you can work with that, because it's better to have it longer and then, you can file it down than to make it too short. Then you would have to pull off the whole entire nail and do a new tip. It's just more work than necessary. So I would leave it a little longer, and then, as you file, they will become the right size that you want. And after I cut it down to the length I want, I use the scissors, which you saw me use. I wanted to do like what kind of nail is that? I think it's not a coffin. I don't know. I forgot. It's like a rounded nail type, a pointy. I forgot what it's called. It's not a stiletto. Almond shape, I guess. Yeah, I think it's an almond shape. I was going for an almond shape. So I use the scissors or the nail clip you can use to cut the ends of the nail to make it, go in, towards the nail, like a little almond shape, like an almond peanut or whatever it's called. So after I do that, I like to file it down to the shape that I want, the shape that looks nice to me. And then after I get it to the shape that I want, that's when I start the dipping process. And that's the glue that I use as well. It's what is this? The glue that looks like a like nail polish, that's the one I'd rather use because it's just easier. And then the powder that I use, it's acrylic, and I just paint my nail like if I'm painting it with a polish, and then I dip it into the acrylic powder. That's easy for me because I'm not really good with doing the acrylic bead on the nail itself. I've tried that. Now it's a little difficult. So for me, I feel like dipping it is the easiest way to go. And I dip it about 3 times. So I'll paint them with the glue, then I dip it. Then I let it dry off. I'll spray it with that spray that I had shown earlier. And then I let it dry a little bit, and then I'll start over and dip it again. What you want to do is when you use that drying glue spray, I would leave it for about maybe a minute to air out, because that spray is so strong that if you use the glue right after you sprayed it, your glue, whatever the brush, starts to get hardened, and it will mess up your whole entire brush. It will become a hard, like little rock on the end, and you're not gonna be able to brush it on your nail like how you would if it didn't have that rock. So if you use the spray, you don't have to use the spray, but if you use that spray, I would leave it for like a minute before I use my brush again, because you will ruin your brush. But yeah, so I dip my nails 3 times, and then after the third time, I go up and do the apex, which is like the middle of the nail, so that it doesn't like break easily. I go over that with glue, and then I dip it another time. The last time is only for the apex. I think that's what it's called, which is, so that it's a little rounded in the middle of your nail so that it doesn't break easily. And then after that, you buff it and buff it and buff it until it's the shape that you want and it's all nice and smooth. This takes some time. You will be buffing for a little while, but listen, you got to do what you got to do to get what you want, the results you want. You don't want to pay money, you got to work for it. So you're going to have to, buff for a while. But after I do my buffing, what I'm doing now is I'm using my drill to make my cuticles a little like it's kind of like cutting the cuticles almost. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. That's just how I do it, where I like kind of clean up my cuticles and make them clean or whatever, and kind of make it look like a fresh set. I just go along the edge to make them nice and neat with the little drill bit. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. That's just what I do because I like the way it looks when I'm done with my nails. So yeah, I do that. And then even when you're done doing that, check your nails again, because if there's any imperfections on them that you feel, you can go ahead and buff them out and file them out to the desire that you feel happy with. So this takes time. It takes me about a couple of hours to get it done. But instead of, when you want living a life of a budget, instead of going to the salon, and you getting a set like this could cost you like $90. And then on top of that, you want to do your feet. That's gonna what? You leaving the salon, you paying like $150. I don't got $150 to be doing my hands and feet. So I could do it myself because it's free 99. Free 99. Who don't mind paying free 99? Free 99 is my price. So I will pay $3.99 and I will take the time to do my nails. What I did there was I did the primer. And I do that before I do the base coat. I don't know if it makes it last longer. For me, I feel like it makes it last a little longer. Or maybe that could be me in my head. I don't know. I don't know if you need it, but I just add that primer. And then after the primer, I do the base coat. And this is all so that it could last longer. You want your nails to last at least 2 weeks, so that's how I do it. So yeah, the base coat, then I'll put it under the machine, and then after that I'll do the actual polish itself. And I picked out peach because I figured that's a nice spring summer color. So that's a really pretty peach, like a peachy orange. I like that color. Very summery. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. Every time you paint your nails, don't forget you put your stuff under the UV light. Get your stuff, hardened. You don't want to mess that up. This is the thing I like about the gel. It's just more simpler to use than when you use regular polish. Because if you make a mistake, you could just wipe it off with alcohol. It's just so much easier. And then here, what I'm doing, I'm using my dotting tool to make like a French. And once again, with the gel, it makes it so much easier. It like kind of glides on and makes it very simple for you to do the design. And then before I do the design, I put alcohol on my nail and take the shininess off, and then I'll do the design. Because then if you leave the shininess, which is the tackiness, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be sticky and then it make a mess and it's not gonna work. So once you take it out the UV lamp, rub the alcohol on it so that it's not shiny anymore, and then do your design. So that's what I did there. And then I use my dotting tool to make a French whatever nail, whatever you call it. And also what I like about this is that it's easy to clean. Like, I forgot to show you, but I do have a little brush and an alcohol on the side that I dip my brush in. And if I made a mistake, I clean up the edges of my nail, or like when I was doing the French thing and I went too low, I cleaned it up with the little alcohol and the brush that I had. I didn't get that on the camera. I didn't get the camera angle right, so you kind of missed me cleaning it and fixing it. But I did fix it, and you can fix it. Just use a little alcohol and a little tiny brush. Dip your brush in the alcohol and then just fix your mistakes. Really simple, really easy. Do not cure it. You fix your mistakes before you cure it, because if you cured it, let's say you can't fix your mistake, you're gonna have to buff your whole thing. So you don't cure it, you fix your mistake, then you cure it. I did do that, forgot to put it on camera. It didn't go in the angle. So yeah, I did my second coat here, and I was, guiding it with my what is this, the ball tip, and I, guided through with that. And I felt my nails seemed a little bit like, kind of simple. So I wanted to add a little pizzazz to it. I like to do a little pizzazz to my nails. So I cut my foil so that I can put some gold foil on my nails. And what I'm painting my nails with now is this glue that it comes with. When you get the foil, it comes with this like glue. Paint your nails with the glue. It'll be white. And then when it kind of turns clear, that's when you're able to stick the foil to the nail. Because if you do it without that glue, it kind of doesn't stick as easily and it doesn't look as good. And before you add that glue, you make sure you wipe all your nails with alcohol so it's not sticky. It don't have the tackiness. It doesn't have it. It's just, it make it dull. Then add the glue, let the glue dry, and then add the foil. Right now, I'm doing my top coat to, finish off the whole entire nails. You do your top coat and then you cure it for a minute. And then that's my full set, cured and nice and cute, summery, perfect. And what I paid, $3.99. Okay, I just took time out of my day to do it. That's it. No money on my pockets. And now I'm gonna work on my feet. I did do my pedicure. I soaked my feet. I scraped my feet. Oh, my daughter wanted me to do her toes. She popped in right quick. But I had to finish mine before I could start hers. And, I used my scraper. And then now I came down to do this portion of it. If you want to see how I clean my feet and everything like that, you can look at my other video. I have that video where I clean my feet and buff it and everything like that, so you can see that. This part, I didn't do that. And then I'm having another visitor. My cat's coming to visit me. No one's letting me do my feet on my own. So at this point, all I'm doing now is, because everything's buff and everything's clean, all I'm doing now is just kind of making the toenails straight, so that, filing them straight so that they look nice and even when you put the polish. That's all I'm doing now. Everything else I already done. So I'm just filing it so that it looks cute and straight. Another visit, my cat, I can't. He's a foot cat. He likes to pay attention to feet and bite feet. So I'm not surprised he's in this video. So yeah, after I file the toes to the way I like it, then I buff it off so that I won't have any, I guess, what do you call that? Like powdery stuff on your toes, because then when you actually do your polish, then you're going to see a lot of bumps and lumps. So I try to avoid that by brushing off all like the powder from when you file your nails. You just brush it off, and then I like to add a little alcohol to clean it off even more, and then I polish it. And what I don't do here, I don't use a primer, I don't use a base coat, because for my toenails, for some reason, they'll stay longer than my nails itself, my hands, so I don't have to use all that extra polish. It's pointless, because I know that my toenails will last for a month or two. Like, that just happens. So what I do is I just go straight with the gel polish itself. No need to do base coat, no need to prime, because for me, that's just you wasting the polish at that point, because it's gonna last on the toes. So I just go straight in with the gel polish on my toes, and I do it just like that. So I do all the toe nails just like that. And then after I cure it, and then I work on my other foot. But this is pretty simple, guys. I'm just showing you what I do so that If you want to do it too, you definitely can. I'm not a professional, but I'm my own DIY. I'm a DIY, whatever you would call it, a DIY champ, a DIY queen. Whatever you want to call it, that's me. I'd rather do it myself than pay the money because I feel like I know I can do it. So why not do it? You know what I mean? Because how much would this be? I mean, if you go to the store, you would be paying at least, I don't know, because the last time I went and I did my feet and hands, I think I paid like 180 or something. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I don't have 180 to spend on my hands and feet. I got two kids, so I don't have that. So I rather just do it on my own, which it looks like I did. And then imagine you do the foil, they'll charge you like an extra $20 just for that. No, no. Go on Amazon, get your foil yourself, and the foil's probably like a pack for like $4 for the whole set where you get a whole bunch of colors. And then you can do your own stuff. No, see, that's why I don't know. You see what I mean? You just got to put in the work to do it. That's just the only thing. And if you don't feel like taking the time to do it, then you go to the nail place. But if you have the time to do your nails, girl, do it yourself. It don't matter. Do it yourself. And this is what I do. So basically, I'm at the end. I'm doing my top coat. I did my gold stuff already, and now I'm lotioning up my feet because I didn't do that after I did do my soaking and scraping. So I like to lotion it up as the ending product, make sure my toes are shiny and my nails are shiny, and this is my finished product of like if you went to the nail salon and got it done. And best price, $3.99. Come on, y'all, $3.99. But thank you for watching. Bye.